It's Chance, and this is another coffee review with Coffee with Chance. And today I'm gonna go over an Italian classic, which is Illy. And pretty much, if you drink a lot of coffee, if you were part of the coffee community, you're bound to have heard this name once. And today, this is their dark roast whole bean coffee. And one thing I will say that definitely struck me right when I picked up this little container is we're getting serious, guys. Like, look at this. This is a missile. I could throw this at someone and it will knock them out. Like, there probably is a need for this. Like, I will say that they're stepping their game up compared to the bags and the little plastic boxes or containers I get at Trader Joe's. This is dope. Like, I really like this. It just speaks leaps and bounds about how much coffee actually means to them. Like, I will reiterate, this is a missile. It is dangerous and it is supposed to be used carefully. But one thing I do not like about Illy is, right off the bat, they don't list where these coffee beans are coming from. There's no origin, there's no location. All we know it is dark roast. That's pretty much it in its whole bean. Let's see exactly what they're saying about this. Delight in the beautiful taste of Illy. Illy transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary by artfully creating the most beautiful coffee experience. With every sip of our distinctive blend of fine Arabica coffees, you'll savor our smooth, rich, and full-bodied taste. Packaged for exceptional freshness using a proprietary process, this coffee was packaged in an air-free, pressurized environment, sealing in the coffee's natural flavors. The moment you open the can, you'll experience a burst of aromatic freshness, delivering exceptional taste in your cup. And one thing I can say is, this package did come with like a little sealant on the top, and when I did open it, I was definitely hit right in the nose, like pow, right in the nose, with a little wave of aroma. And more than anything, I'll jump right into the beans, guys. But more than anything, the aroma I'm getting with these beans is strong notes of caramel. Has subtle hints of cocoa on the side, but more than anything, it is a very sweet smell that is distinguished by the caramel, I'd say. And more than anything, it has that very espresso scent to it, as I would definitely have figured. But yeah, these beans definitely are looking like a nice little dark roast, and it is pretty aromatic. It's not the most pungent, and the smell definitely isn't the most full-bodied, but it seems like a nice light coffee, sweet almost. And yeah, let's see how it is. I brewed up a little cup with a French press. So how I prepare my coffee for most coffee reviews is I will pour about 4.5 cups into my French press of boiling water. Okay, first I'll pour the coffee grounds, and that will be like 3 tablespoons at the bottom of my French press, and then I'll cover the bottom with boiling water, and that's just enough to cover the beans just so they start to extract, and then I'll cover it for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, I'll pour the rest of the water, which is about 4.5 cups of water, right to a line in my French press, and from there I'll let it sit for about 3 minutes, letting it extract the coffee. And from there, I'll pour it into my cup, let it sit for another minute, and with the French press, you're really able to see all the flavors and the oils that you're able to extract with that technique and method of brewing coffee, where you will not be able to get that with the drop over or some other different types of coffee brewing. Alright guys, let's see it. So from first appearance, this coffee is not too oily, and from the color it looks a little lighter. It's not the most full-bodied, but it also is not looking like decaf, you know what I mean? It has that nice little in-between where it is it's pretty dark. That's the only way I could describe it. And just from the color, you're able to tell a lot of how the body will be. So let's smell it. Just like the beans, there's a heavy note of caramel. Oh, excuse me. There are heavy notes of caramel and cocoa, and it is a very sweet coffee. But when you brew it, I'm getting a little bit more of, there's a little bit of a tobacco smell in there. I'm having a hard time putting my exact tongue on what it would be, but how I would describe it is there is a little bit of a tobacco smell in there, and it's not discouraging. Instead, it might be something that's very savorful. Let's see. It's very smooth. I'll give it that. That is one of the more smooth coffees I've had. And the aftertaste, there is little to no acidity on your tongue or in your mouth. And yeah, it is very sweet. That's one thing I will give it. It has those notes of caramel that just highlight everything. And there is that little key of tobacco in the very back if you're able to spot that out. But I'm not exactly sure if that's what it is. I'm still having a hard time putting my tongue on it exactly what that flavor is. I'm just giving it the name tobacco. Definitely is a lighter coffee. It's not as full-bodied as I'd like it to be for a dark roast, but it does make up with sweetness where it lacks in body. And that's one thing I can say about this. And it's not too overly sweet. It's not really intimidating with the sweetness. That might not be the right word, but it isn't too much, you know what I mean? I'll say one thing. If you do drink your coffee with a lot of creamer or sugar, you might be able to drink this without, because it is a pretty sweet, smooth coffee that isn't too harsh at first. Zero through 100. I would probably rate this coffee a 91, at least for a dark roast, because it is very smooth, it is very flavorful. The only thing I'd like to see a little bit more of is body in there, and maybe a little more acidity, but you can't really say anything. Like, even on the box or on the container it says caffeine content not higher than 1.5. So definitely from what I can tell, Illy is more for just enjoying the coffee instead of getting that caffeine jump out of it. And one thing I forgot to bring up earlier that I really like about Illy is they are one of the most ethical companies as of 2014, world's most ethical companies. And these beans aren't labeled as free trade, but when I look into Illy, they definitely try and treat their farmers and the producers of their beans as best as they can. That's pretty much it, guys. This is Illy. Illy whole bean coffee dark roast. To be completely honest, I'm pretty happy with this. It's sweet, it's something nice and light, just for probably when I'm going to bed or something. And yeah, it was definitely enjoyable. Thanks, guys.